Hello everyone, it is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Let's get into the picks from the last video, which was D-Dog as a day trade long. So when the video came out, D-Dog was over here. I took it at around 164.90, and then I took a small profit close to the high of the day, closer to around 165, I think 15-ish, but you had a pretty good chance to get on 165.40 or 50 on this little poke over here. So definitely had some time to take some profits on that. My entry was okay. I think it could have probably been 60 or 70 cents less on this pullback. So could have gotten a little bit of a better entry on a lower area, but all in all, D-Dog was a nice little win. Nothing too big, but nothing, a win is a win. So let's get into the market analysis for today, and then we will review the picks that we have currently. And we are in a few. So, market right now, let's flip to our D1 basis. Now, in a longer-term time frame, right, things are still pretty bullish technically and fundamentally. On a shorter-term time frame, we got into this move somewhere over here, and we are kind of riding this move up, and we're getting pretty close to this upward sloping trend line over here. I think, let me see if 1OTL now. Okay. Just checking to see if any of these trend lines come into play, but we're kind of reaching the top of this upward sloping trend line. And, we got some, after this breakout to the new all-time high, which we got over here right before Thanksgiving, this has been some tiny body candles, a little bit of a gap hold, a little bit of a bullish 10-day. I thought we'd get something more, but this is pretty much the bullish trend day that we ended up getting. So you can see here on this gap up, we took some gains on some of those swings, and then because we expected there's a chance for a gap reversal, market tested, held, tested again, then we got a decent move up. We got another little test here. So we are forming a bit of a bullish channel. We are still bullish in the shorter term. And as long as we kind of keep this little bullish pattern here and we keep making new highs, we're good. The two things we got to be careful of is, one, if we get another gap up, and that could happen tomorrow with unemployment. So to get another gap up, I'm going to take some more gains on my swings. And then two, if we start to go sideways for a couple of days. So, right, usually like after when we get that gap and go, right, we'll usually see some sort of pause for a couple of days, right? We do start to make a lower low. We stall for a little bit over here, right? So that candle on the 12th here was kind of a clue. Told us to be a little bit careful. We also knew that we had a pretty big move initially, so we missed some of the move over here. That's something to keep in mind. So over here, right, some tiny body candles, lighter volume. Okay, we're not getting, crazy about this. You can see the ATR is also decreasing, where in November, right, November 11th, I mean, it popped up from that candle over here, but coming in from an ATR, a little spike of 6.5, now coming all the way down to 4, and then on a market move down, that's going to spike back up. You can see the volatility always spikes up a little bit on these market moves lower. So that's what we're seeing here, getting a little frothy, getting a little overextended. So we're just being cautious with our swing trades. And, with the intraday action being fairly garbage, we have to be careful with our day trades. We got to find the right cycles. So when the market's going down, right, on this dip, these dips is where we want to find a relatively strong stock. So when the stock is moving up, that's not the time where we want to enter our day trade longs, right? So we're right over here. Let's look at the market on an M5 basis, flat open, poke to the upside, don't get anything going, move to the downside. We find support right at the prior day's a VWAP. Then we get a test, couple of some support forming over here. We get this nice bullish candle, and it holds through VWAP. So that's a nice opportunity to take, enter some day trade longs, I think at 11:20. Holds VWAP, and then we start to inch up higher. And now we're at the high of the day. We're starting to stall. So could we break out? Sure. If we break out, you hold the longs. But to me, I feel like this is a day where it's probably going to be an LPTE day. And if we look at just what happened in the first hour of trading, right, Here's the first hour. We're going to poke new low of the day. So this is mildly bearish, and I'm thinking, look, this is either going to be a bearish day or probably an LPTE day. We have some economic news tomorrow. We have traders just waiting to see what's going to happen there. And I don't think there's going to be anything too strong. So far, that is playing out. If we continue this trend, I'm fine with that. That works pretty well with my longer positions, and I'll use that strength to exit out of those positions slowly. Now, if we reject over here, I think we're probably going to stay in this range for today. Only thing pending is we get some sort of big bearish red hammer. I don't see that right before the unemployment. Doesn't make too much sense to me, but could happen. So that's a fairly unlikely scenario in my opinion. I think we're going to chop around and do nothing. So let's take a look at our picks that we are currently in. First one over here. Oh, we got an alert. Got a couple alerts over here. INOQ, and I got this on IBN. Let's quickly check this out. This was one day trading long. I liked pretty choppy stock. I think it's a regional bank, but I like the price action today. Stock pulled back to VWAP, not really rallying. So again, for any longs here, I want to see a contra cycle. We'll go over Tesla in a second, but Tesla is one long I like, but I think in a contra cycle, I want to see some relative strength, right? If this is relatively weak when I'm entering it, not as crazy about that. It's been weak for a little bit, hasn't been rallying with this leg of the market. So we need to see a down cycle to confirm that relative strength. Okay, so back to our picks. We have Shop over here. Shop is finding a little bit of love right now. Stock is holding this level. Now, I am a little bit 50-50 right now as to whether I want to hold this or to take profits. So if you think about the market scenario right now, right, so market's been moving to a new all-time high. Stock over here is looking pretty good. Now it's compressing. It hasn't been able to get through those gains. This high right here at 115, that seems like a decent point. Now, if it can clear that, then we have a nice little bit of runway on the stock. I'm not too worried about this high minus trend line. Here's a 102 balanced one. Let's zoom out. Okay, yeah, like this is one that I respect a little bit more. Let's go to one. Oops, there we go. SPY new high of the day. Okay. 102 now. Okay. So I do somewhat respect that. There's a bit of a gap, but from earnings to earnings, that's coming into play. That's coming into play as well. And then if I look at my we're going to look at this real quick. You can see this chart is marked up to all hell. So we are going to hide these drawings right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's this high volume D1 candle that's acting as some resistance here. But what I like about stock, and here's basically where's my dilemma over here, where market's still bullish, but I'm not looking to really do anything. If anything, I'm a little bit more slightly neutral to even a little more cautious on the market in a shorter term. So I don't want to say I'm mildly bearish in the shorter term, but I'm a little bit more cautious. Oh, that is my Microsoft Teams. All right. Don't have to worry about that right now. So for ShopRite, I'm like, all right, I mean, I feel like it has a decent chance to break out, but if the market is, if it kind of gaps up over here, if its shop's not really doing too much, then I may have to consider getting the position. So I'm still kind of holding it. I have a half position here, like a 0.6, 0.7 size position, so it's not anything really too big. Something I can withstand the wiggles and jiggles. But, yeah, I mean, I'm just not crazy about the market. So definitely not going to add to it. I'm just wanting to see if this is going to break out or not. So going to keep holding it for the time being. GoDaddy, I took partial profits in this stock. yesterday. Still looking decent today. May take a little bit more gains over here. I'm probably going to wait until the unemployment report tomorrow before making any sort of big moves over here in terms of positions. Netflix is continuing to grind higher. And yeah, just churning out those new highs and lows. So let's move it up a little bit higher. Not super strong in the M5 basis, but yeah, if you look at this trend on an M30 chart, it's a pretty nice steady trend, right? We get to move up, compress, move up, compress, move up, and we're through that all-time high. I like how we tested that, found some support, moving up higher. So that's what I like in Netflix. We have Twilio. Twilio is looking nice as well. And we're through that IPO AVWAP, which is right over here, finding some support. It is kind of slightly moving up higher, but I just do love this price action quite a bit. So I'm sticking with the position because this price action is nice and strong. UPSD testing this AVWAP again. I want to see it get through this high over here. So I'm going to set an alert at that gap. We got the sell signal, flip back to a buy. So yeah, I'm going to wait to see what happens there on UPST. Reddit, right below that all-time high. Still like the stock on a longer-term time frame. May take a little bit of gains if we get a gap up tomorrow. Again, that's kind of my main criteria over here. If we get a gap up, I'm going to start scaling out a little bit more of some of those positions and, kind of be nice and light over here. So AI, we took some small profits in that position yesterday, so we are out of that position. And I believe we only have app left, app and team. App continues to make a very nice move today. There's a lot of profit targets out at 435, so I'm watching to see what happens at 400 today. Let's see if it got to that level or not. I had a double top, so it got close, 397. So still looking good. I mean, we are in this position from 322, I believe. Yeah, 322. So we're in app from that position, and it's continuing to grind higher, starting to accelerate over here, which is what I'd like to see. And yeah, I mean, price action has been strong. It's been tight, and we've just been sticking with it. So right, nice stuff on app. So still going to hold app. And then we have team. Oh, there is Tesla. Okay. So we have team over here. Team, really big move yesterday on some nice volume. Today looks like we have a low volume pullback. So let's take a look at that. Yeah. So I like this. So we get a gap down, and then we get some early selling pressure that stalls really, really hard. And we're just pretty much buyers are coming in and absorbing all this selling pressure before we get to even this low or even the open of this candle here at 275. So I like what I see in team. I think that tells me that this stock still has another leg higher. I don't have to worry about anything right now. And we're holding most of the gains of the prior candle. Now, it did move up pretty quick. So after this move, it might slow down for a little bit and then move higher. But I may scale out a little bit more on teams again on another nice little gap up on this stock. And yeah, I mean, that is that. So those are the picks that we are in right now. Let's take a look at Tesla, because I like this stock breaking out of D1 compression over here. Let's take a look at that M5 chart. Gaining a little bit of relative strength. Let's look at the market on an M5 basis. Yeah, new high of the day. Holding through that. Just kind of churning up. So I may take Tesla long right here. If we can get a close above this candle, I may take a little win on Tesla. Now, we got to make sure this breakout holds. But yeah, I like this double bottom. I like how we're getting above this high. Tells me that there's some support over here at 368. And then we have some upside all the way to 375-ish, 374, 375. And I can probably set my alert somewhere like 372. You don't have to chase at the candle. You can always bid in a little bit lower. And you can see how it is hugging that 8 EMA. So that's a nice one to get in over here. So yeah, I mean, I like what I'm seeing in this. That's probably going to be my pick of the day. I'm going to look at some of the other tags over here. AAL, very nice. We need to wait for a pullback. Bill, oh, that's simp. Yeah, Bill starting to take off over here. So I think we kind of missed that entry point on that stock. MAR compressing. IBN not too bad, but I want to see a little bit stronger bounce. Excuse me. There's sound pulling back here. So if we can start to find a little bit of support, we could see something going. And have a couple alerts set on that. We already talked about Tesla. There is Roblox came back in here. It's testing VWAP at 57. So I want to see another little double bottom and then maybe a little bounce over there. So I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to look at my alerts, view alerts. Oh, I already got this. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of. Oh. Interesting. Okay, well, just cleared some of those extra alerts. Yeah, so a little bit of selling pressure. It hit an old gap around $59. But yeah, I think I like Tesla as your long pick of the day. So that's gonna be my pick for today's video. Tesla is a day trade long. Thanks everyone for watching. Keep out the gap on. Gap up tomorrow, take some gains on the unemployment, and look to scale out of some of your longs, for the rest of this week.